Hello and welcome to Thursdays with Annette. I've got my apron on and I'm thinking about moving this wok over in a minute and making some magic because we're making a recipe that's in book 3 as well as more cooking for 1 or 2, and it is the Mongolian lamb. Oh my gosh, this is such a great recipe, and I'll tell you the variations if you're not a big lamb eater, because there are 3 options there all up. So the Mongolian lamb is such a simple recipe, and that's all what I'm about this year is quick, easy, simple. And the ingredients we need for this is 600 grams of lean lamb leg steak. You want an onion, because we're going to do a cup of sliced onion. We're going to do a cup of sliced capsicum, but I like putting the 2 colours in because I just think we eat with our eyes, so we want to see colour. I've got my cooking spray, which is the rice brand because I'm using the flam wok, which I just adore. We've got garlic, ginger. Now you can use fresh if you want, but I'm going to use the one in the jar because it's quick and easy. I've got some corn flour, a cup of water. You've got some soy sauce, which is the low salt soy. We've got some oyster sauce and hoisin sauce, so you can see it's banging with flavour. I've also got a touch of sugar, which I think mellows this dish just beautifully. Just a teaspoon, it just makes such a difference. And then I'm going to put some toasted sesame seeds on the top, which I think goes so well with the Mongolian. And of course we've got the beef stock powder because we're going to use red meat. All right, so before I get starting to chop, which I might do my capsicums first, don't forget to check out my 6-week weight loss winter challenge. Now it starts on Monday, on the 19th of June. Imagine getting to the end of winter and you've lost weight. How awesome would that be? So why don't you head to my website, check it out, simplytoogood.com.au/membership to find out more about it, because it's going to be awesome. I'm really excited about this challenge. So I'm going to do a cup of capsicum, and you're going to cut it in strips. So I'm just going to keep them, I think, that length. Having a sharp knife helps, doesn't it, when you're cooking? Actually, a blunt knife is actually more dangerous in the kitchen because you press harder on it because it's not going through like how mine's going through really easily, and that's where you can slip and cut yourself quite badly. So just a little tip there. Now I want a cup. So you think, how do you measure sliced capsicum? Well, I'll show you. You put it in the way up. Thank you for joining me today. I always get excited when it comes to Thursday because I get to be in my fizzy, fabulous place, my kitchen, and I get to cook for you. And then my family get excited because they get to eat the food afterwards. I think Diane's put dibbies on this one, Bill, sorry. All right, so as you can see, I've packed that in real well, and there is my cup done. So I might just put that in this bowl here. And you can see from that already we're getting some vibrant colour happening. Onion, we want a cup of onion. Oh, what am I doing? I should have put that in this bowl. Oh, it doesn't matter now. That's what I'm going to serve it in. All right, so let's cut it in half. I'm going to cut it in quarters and then thinly sliced. You don't want too thick. Nothing worse than a huge big chunk of onion in your mouth. And I want a cup. All right, so let's have a look. And I'm going to break that up a little bit as well. So you can see that when I say this recipe is quick and easy, it is really basically what we're going to do is have you heard me say it before? Are you ready? We're going to chop it all up, chuck in the pot and cook it. They're going to go in at the same time, so we're looking good here. All right, now we're going to do the lamb. All right, so it's going to be in strips. So because the lamb leg steak is quite small pieces, it works out really well when you're doing it in strips. Now, if you don't want lamb, because I think lamb at the moment is a little bit expensive, and we're all looking at our budgets at the moment, aren't we? You can swap it for rump or chicken breast. So you can choose which you prefer. Now I'm going to maybe cut this in half because it's a big piece, and in strips. Now the fat count for lamb is 10 grams of fat a serve. If you're going to do it with the beef, it's 8.2, and the chicken is only 3.7. So what I've done is I make this quite a bit, and I actually change the protein over so the family doesn't get bored with it, or sick of it, I should say, because when you put this in and it's chicken, it's quite different in flavour. This serves 4 in the book 3, and in the more cooking it serves 2. All right, so I've got some odd little pieces in here, so I'll just quickly slice them into strips. It is nice with the lamb though. That's a traditional way, isn't it, the Mongolian lamb, but you can do it however you like. You could do it with tofu for vegetarians, which would be nice for them. And I'm going to cook up the meat. Let me get rid of this. I haven't done my soapy sink. All right, first time that hasn't happened. Let's move this over here. Let's bring our wok over. Let's fire it up. I've got to say, best wok ever. It's so quick, and that's what I like as well, and doesn't stick, which is even another fabulous. But please remember to always use the rice bran with the wok. Now you'll be pleased to know that I've got the glass lids back in now for not only the wok but the pan set here. So we've got the glass lids to go with them now as well. So they're back in, as well as the chocolate shake. The Wicked chocolate is back in stock, freshly made for you. So there you go. So we're going to put in the ginger and the garlic, and you're going to cook that with the lamb. I've got it fairly hot because I want to seal the lamb. So just put it a little bit in at a time. You can hear me sizzle happening. I love a good sizzle. This freezes really well too. Because it doesn't have any dairy in it, you could freeze this for months, you know. But I find we tend to make it and then have it a couple of days later because I get another night off cooking. Let's wash my hands. There we go. Oh yeah. And I've always got this ingredients in my pantry. So most of the time it just means I've got to buy the protein and dinner's ready to go. It's nice served with rice traditionally, but I've actually done it with noodles as well. And I'm just going to brown that off. Let's bring this all in a bit. All right, so I've toasted the sesame seeds already to save time, and how I did that was I just put them in the pan and just tossed them quickly to brown off, because you only need 2 teaspoons. If you're using a lot more sesame seeds, then you can always put a sheet of foil under the grill and then you grill that way, but watch them because they brown really quickly, so you want to be focusing on exactly what you need to be doing there. Don't walk away, otherwise you'll have a fire in your kitchen. Okay, that's looking great. So that's nearly cooked, okay? So now I'm going to put in the onion and the capsicum and just toss that together. And we're just going to cook that off for a couple of minutes. You know, depending on how you like your veggies, I like them a little bit crispy. I don't like them hard, but you know, I don't want soggy either. My gosh, I'm so excited about the challenge on Monday. Me and Diane and Bill have been working really hard on this one to really bring you some great, you know, life skills to take with you. Because I found, for me, one of the keys is learning how to change those habits and the triggers that set you off on a binge or for quitting or whatever, because this is about a healthy lifestyle. I'm not talking about a diet here. This is about you learning how to live a healthy lifestyle. So I really hope you join me on this challenge, because, I mean, winter can be notorious for gaining weight, because we've got our big baggy jumpers on and tracky dacks and that, and then when it gets a warm day and you sort of have the unveiling, you go, oh my gosh, what have I done over winter? And I'm telling you, I've felt that. I'm talking about how I felt. It was really quite a shock when with winter for me. And when I changed all that so many years ago, I now don't have that upset and concern, which is so important to your well-being, isn't it? All right, so now we're going to put in the soy sauce. So it's 1.5 tablespoons. So when you're using the measure, just put your finger down there to sort of hold the liquid. So 1.5 tablespoons. Move that down to 1.5. And this is the low salt soy, which is really important, because we want to make sure we're looking after your healthy heart as well as, you know, your hips. Ooh, there we go. Now this is the hoisin, and you want 1.5 tablespoons of that as well. And this is what really you would want. Hoisin is really important in Mongolian lamb. That's what is quite unique about it. Just hang in there while I'm getting this in. 1.5 tablespoons. There we go. Oh. It's not running very quickly, is it? Okay. Yes. Thank you. Whew. I've had a bit of a workout. Now we want just a tablespoon of oyster sauce. And this is the thing, this type of dish would be very high in sodium or salt normally. And so for people with diabetes and heart concerns, you've really got to look at these type of dishes and sort of think about, oh, is this going to be good for my general health and well-being? Because for people with diabetes, you really want a low sodium diet. Okay, so there's our flavours going in. Let's put in 2 teaspoons of the beef stock powder. There we go. That teaspoon of sugar, don't forget that little teaspoon of sugar. We've got to mix them in. Oh my gosh, yum. Now we're going to put the water and the corn flour. So you want 2 tablespoons of corn flour to go in your water. Here we go. I'm just going to whisk that up, and basically then our Mongolian lamb is done. I know, see what I told you, this year was all about the quick and easy stuff, but at the same time we want fabulous. Of course we do, we want tasty food. We want to provide nutritional food to our beautiful family as well as ourselves. But at the end of the day, I think the hardest thing was getting the hoisin sauce out. That's where it was the hardest work. All right, so there it is. All I've got to do now is let this boil and it'll thicken up a little bit. All right, so I've got my bowl here. I'm just going to rinse it. And as I said, I would have some rice with this. I think definitely, you know, Mongolian lamb and rice. And there's a tip as well. I mean, just have the basmati rice. You don't need to have fried rice, because for a cup of fried rice, it's about 15 grams of fat. And if you just have boiled rice, it's like 0.5 gram. You know what I mean? So this is another way you can save on your calories. Right, let's serve it up. Oh yes, thank you, Mongolian lamb. Loving you. Now remember that you have this recipe in both the books. You've got book 3 as well as More Cooking for 1 or 2. So you can make it for 4 people, or you can make it for just 2. But the good news is it freezes really well, as I said. So there is our Mongolian lamb, already on a cold winter's night to enjoy. I love it in a bowl. And it's one of those recipes that I think you might put in as a regular. Now, we're going to win book 3 this week, are we? Are you going to be the winners for book 3? And, hello, yes, I'm being more generous this year, aren't I? You get them both. You know, yes, personally signed, but what have you got to do to qualify? You have to like, share, then in the comments, here we go, hashtag Symply Too Good, remember with the Y, and then I'll pick 3 fabulous people to be this week's winner. Now, next week's show, oh, hello, one moment, please. Let's do the sesame seeds. Oh, yes, see, now we're talking. Hello, Billy, get a close-up on that baby. Look at that. Get my chopsticks out now. Next week's show is going to be even better because it's a real great home-style recipe that you originally started as buying it in a jar. No, you don't need to do that anymore. You're going to make this yourself. What am I making? Well, I'm making the honey mustard chicken out of book 5, and it's also in more cooking. So guess what? 2 more books to give away next week. Yes, that's right. Honey mustard chicken is on the menu next week, and you'll make it yourself. It's delicious. Absolutely. I think I say that about all my recipes, but some of them are super delicious. Now, before I finish up, don't forget, check out the challenge. It starts on Monday. And look, if you've hesitated in the past, you know, make winter the time where you get fabulous. Hello. You just got to go and check it all out on my website, simplytoogood.com.au/membership. I am excited to see you as part of my team in there. I'll look forward to it. Anyway, remember, I'll be here next Thursday waiting for you. And really, at the end of the day, who knew weight loss could be so deliciously healthy? See you next week. Bye.